Hello and welcome to Louisville Now, where we keep your fingers on the pulse of what's going on in Louisville. You know, one of the priorities for the mayor is, of course, a healthy city, and it's probably one of your priorities as well. And I'm going to talk to a lady who's making that happen with Feed Louisville. Joining me now is Rana Bose-Kamar. And Rana Bose-Kamar started Feed Louisville in 2020, and it continues today. Rana, first of all, I am truly honored to talk to you because we talk a lot on this show about people who make a difference. You do that. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Appreciate you being here today.
All right, obviously we're in a kitchen, and I love to gather in a kitchen, but there are special things happening in this specific kitchen. Tell me a little bit about Feed Louisville, what inspired you, and what's the mission?
Thank you. Well, today, welcome to our kitchen. We have an incredible team of former restaurant chefs who come to this kitchen every day and cook beautiful, nutrient-dense hot meals for our local unhoused and food insecure community. It's an incredible honor to do this work every day. When you're a person who loves to cook, the ability to cook for people who are struggling right now is very meaningful. So I give so much props to this team for the work that they do every day. We started very accidentally at the beginning of the pandemic. My former co-founder and I ran into each other in a little church kitchen where I was renting space. And he told me that with this pandemic, that people who are living on the streets right now were not going to have access to hot food. And I said, let's do something. Let's cook a few meals for you. So we started out like that. We thought we would do this for a couple of weeks. And then what we found is that there's actually really a need for this. There's a niche that we fill in the community, which I can tell you more about. But it was a beautiful serendipitous moment that has led us 5.5 years later to this kitchen and an expanded capacity and a network of partners on every side.
You know, when you talk about a mission this big, Rana, and this ambitious, obviously it's going to take many, many partners. So talk a little bit about your partnerships and how the food is distributed.
Okay, great. So we have partners on two sides. One side is our restaurant community, and we really consider ourselves to be an extension of the hospitality industry. We're networked with around 100 restaurants and caterers and farmers and grocers who donate their surplus but still good food to us. We know that about 40% of food produced in the U.S. gets thrown away without being eaten. Perfectly good food. So we have all these partners who have not historically had a place to donate this good food, and now they donate it to us. So we have drivers out in the community every day. So they're picking up this food from our partners. We're partnered with agencies like, or organizations like Humana, Ford, Brown-Forman, and then all of our best caterers in town, Wiltshire Pantry and the Bristol and Levy's Catering, not to mention all of these grocery stores. It's just, and farmers, our farm partners, we value incredibly. So we pick up this food, that's one side, the partnerships. We bring it in here, we make beautiful meals out of it, and then there's a whole other category of food that we don't make meals with that also goes out to our partners. So that's our restaurant and food side. The other side are our community feeding partners. As I said, we started out originally with our own street outreach team. That was our original co-founder. But now we are partnered with over 20 human service agencies in Louisville who get this food out to the community. And so we really are a commissary kitchen and a hub for redistribution. Our partners really do the hard work of getting this food out to people. Our partners range anywhere from street outreach teams, some of them very grassroots, very small. We have transitional housing programs, the Arthur Street Hotel, the VOA, Hope Village that we share food with. We have some food pantries we're sharing resources with, and it's just an incredible collaboration of hundreds of companies and organizations working together.
Rana, it sounds like a common sense idea, but yet this isn't your average everyday kitchen. This looks like one of the fine dining kitchens that you would see in some of our finer restaurants in Louisville, and it took someone who is passionate about the work. I want to talk a little bit about that passion and how you make that contagious to make Feed Louisville work.
It does take passion,
Yes,
that is
it
for
does.
sure. Anybody who's in the food industry in general has to have passion, right? If you're a restaurant owner, if you're a chef, our team has that, a really deep passion for feeding people. When you impose that on people who will never be a customer of yours, so these are people who just right now in their lives are struggling with food insecurity or homelessness or hunger. It takes on an even deeper meaning. So there's a real drive. I always say, keep your friends close, but keep your chef friends closer, because if you have people in your life who love to cook, you will always be taken care of.
Ronna, you
Yes.
are fantastic. You are fantastic. Feed Louisville. So now you know a little bit of an overview. Coming up here, we're going to talk to a Metro Council member and how Feed Louisville helps his district. So again, once again, welcome to Louisville Now. Coming up here, yes, we'll learn more about Feed Louisville, and you, once again, can keep your fingers on the pulse of what's happening in our city. We'll be right back. Copper wire theft is robbing us of our safety. Thieves are targeting our essential infrastructure, darkening roadways, disrupting emergency services, shutting down internet networks, and causing over $1 million in damages just last year. Copper wire theft is illegal. Mayor Craig Greenberg's Copper Wire Theft Task Force is getting results, but your help is needed. If you see something suspicious, call Crime Stoppers at 502-582-CLUE. You could get a $5,000 reward. Welcome back to Louisville Now. We've had a little bit of an overview of Feed Louisville and their mission, but now we're going to talk about how they help the community. With me now are two Metro Council members, and I've got Shamika Parrish Wright, and if I am correct, Shamika, you are with District 3.
Yes.
And Ken Herndon, who is with District 4. First of all, thank you guys for coming on. The focus is Feed Louisville, but for those who aren't familiar, I say District 3, I say District 4. Shamika, tell them what area that you actually cover.
Thank you. District 4 is actually one of the border districts close to District 3. We have a great deal of the Hallmark neighborhood, Algonquin, out southwest, a lot of Shively, Jacobs, over in Cloverleaf and Manslick area, a little bit of PRP, a little bit of other different neighborhoods, St. Dennis, South Louisville, Taylorberry.
There we go, a lot of good people.
Yes.
And Ken, I'm familiar with your district. I think anyone who loves Nulu, that's part of your district. Tell them where you cover.
I cover from 32nd Street all the way over to Clifton Heights. So it's Russell, part of Parkland, Smoketown, California, downtown, Nulu, Butchertown, Phoenix Hill, and Clifton Heights.
All right. Councilwoman Parrish Wright.
Yes.
Let's talk a little bit about Feed Louisville and how does it help the people in your district?
I really appreciate that. Feed Louisville serves people in all over Jefferson County, and I'm also executive director of Vocal Kentucky. It also serves nonprofits like mine who serve people who are marginalized, who are unhoused, and we have membership meetings, and Feed Louisville has been a real gem to our community. And I am honored to serve on the board. I've been on the board of Feed Louisville for a few years because I know how important food justice is. And when I started getting involved with Feed Louisville, I started to see how great their capacity was and how they were able to build this work across this county. So not only nonprofits, but my residents in District 3 can come here and get food or even have food delivered to them. food is where it centers everyone. And so when someone has something to eat, they're able to think, they're able to navigate. And for a district like mine that's very transient with a lot of small and seniors that live there, it is important that they have access to food, especially now.
Councilman Herndon, I saw you in the back working the kitchen a little bit.
Oh, you put him to work?
Yeah, we put him to work. Okay, so tell us, Feed Louisville is unique. This is really a top quality kitchen with chefs.
Yes.
So this isn't your average everyday, okay, we've got a little bit of this and a little bit of that. This is about quality meals, right?
Yes, yes.
How does it help your district?
Well, my district, as I said, goes from 32nd Street to Clifton Heights. Every kind of person who lives in Louisville lives in my district. And so there's a saying that there, but for the grace of God, go I. We are all one step away or one mishap away from being hungry on the street, and I'm so proud to have Feed Louisville in my district, right down the street from where I actually live here on Story Avenue, and we know that they do good work well beyond District 4, District 3, and all across the city.
Councilwoman Parrish Wright, I can tell this makes you smile.
It
Because
does.
as a Metro Council member, I would think you're looking for entities like this, people that are active. We talked to Rana, and she's definitely passionate about this. That's what it requires, doesn't it? To make Louisville a healthier place to live, and that's what we're talking about.
Yes.
It does require passion. Tell me about maybe some instances where you've seen Feed Louisville help folks in your district.
Thank you for that. Rana knows, we both know. I always lead that I'm a mother of 6 and grandmother of 4. So I think about all the families that have been impacted by food issues, food insecurity, not having enough fresh food around where they live, and how important that is. You have first-class quality chefs that are working with Feed Louisville, not to just provide sustenance, but things that are very tasty, beneficial, and healthy for them. And so thinking about the organizations, hundreds of people are served daily and thousands weekly by Feed Louisville's work. And so I know how important it is. It is something that's near and dear to my heart, an organization I will always support whether I'm a board member or not, because the very least we can do, especially in Louisville, is feed someone and meet that need. When we meet that need, people are able to function and move about our city. We have a lot of people that are house poor. That means they have enough to pay their rent or their mortgage, but they don't have enough to keep food in their fridge. Feed Louisville is helping meet those gaps, and we know that when people have their needs met, they're able to function and be just what this city wants them to be, a very city that is compassionate and beautiful and welcoming to everybody, no matter their economic status.
Ken, it's pretty obvious to me that this is important for people to jump in and help, be a part of the answer.
Yes.
For those who are watching this, and what advice would you give them on making Louisville a healthier place to live?
Volunteer.
Jump in.
There's all kinds of folks around here, Feed Louisville, others that do good work for good reasons, and Local Kentucky's one. Just jump in, make a call, volunteer.
Here on Louisville Now, we talk a lot about partnerships, and we're going to talk about how preventing violence and feeding Louisville work together. That's coming up next on Louisville Now. Stick with us.
Corey Michael Crow, his nickname was Ace. Very confident, very self-determined, and he loved people. He was found in a car. We believe it may have been the company that he kept or somebody that he trusted that maybe he should not have trusted. He's just the missing piece to my puzzle. Just one piece of the puzzle missing. The puzzle's not the same. One bad choice could change your life forever.
He just stole our hearts at the beginning with so much character, so much life. How is this our story? Our son, AJ, did. We would have never imagined that our son would have went with someone that could have gotten him killed. And the one time you let your guard up, this could be your story as well. Know where your children are. They're your responsibility.
Welcome back to Louisville Now. The mission of this show is to talk about Feed Louisville and how it helps our community become a healthier city. With me now are two people who know about partnerships, and it's a unique one. Ashley Webb, who's with the Office of Violence Prevention. Thank you, Ashley, for joining us. And Pastor Nathan Horton. Thank you so much, sir, for coming on board.
Thanks for having us.
All right, so if I think about violence prevention, and then I'm thinking about feeding Louisville, I'm having a problem here connecting the dots. Help me out, Ashley.
And as you said, we do have a unique and wonderful partnership with Feed Louisville. First of all, social cohesion, the bringing of people together over food inside of community, absolutely is a way that we are going to continue to reduce violence in our city. So through the Community Sanctuary Project, we have a unique partnership with Feed Louisville where we actually pay them for their catering service at an extremely economic price. That allows us to feed large groups of people while also pouring into the ecosystem of what they do here at Feed Louisville. So I'm going to let Pastor Horton talk a little bit about what Community Sanctuary Project is and how we've served people. But again, we are meeting people where they're at in community after acts of violence have taken place and truly impacted people as a way to bring together faith-based liaisons. We bring together mental health support, but most importantly, we bring together community to rely and lean on each other over a meal. And I heard you say before you like to meet in the kitchen. Well, we like to meet community where they're at over food from Feed Louisville.
All right. Now, so talk a little bit about the Community Sanctuary Project, Pastor, if you would.
Well, the Community Sanctuary Project is a faith-based liaison that deals with gun violence and tragedy that goes on in the community. And so what we do is that we act within 72 hours when something devastating happened in that community. We get out, we canvass the community, we pass out flyers, we bring the community together, and what we do is that through our partnership with Feed Louisville, we bring the community together with the food that they provide for us. The water, food, chips, the bread, everything that we ask for and need to feed the community. And so when we bring the community together, and even though we provide for the mental health, the food and the grilling is what bring the people together.
So I'm starting to understand this, Ashley. So you bring people together, much like you do in your home. They come into the kitchen, they bond. This reduces violence. Are there statistics to prove that? Have you seen that?
There absolutely are. And we have reduced violence in our city by about 30%. And it doesn't feel that way because as you're impacted by it, it doesn't feel that way. But when we're bringing community together to develop healthy support systems with one another, develop opportunities for people to come together and have real conversations, real unity over food with faith-based partnerships, mental health. When we are coming together, we are seeing healthier communities.
So I talked about statistics. So Pastor Horton, I'm going to come to you. Let's talk about numbers. Numbers that are helped by Feed Louisville and also that violence prevention tie-in. I think that's so important.
Yes, well, from January of last year to June, through the whole year, through Feed Louisville, we were able to serve 7,000 people. 7,000 people.
Impressive.
And some of those people that came out or have come out, that would be their only meal for that day. And children, and even in some cases, we were able to even give food that they could take home with them. For instance, I had a young little girl that comes up and said she had no food at home, all she had was bread, and she wanted to be able to take her brothers and sisters something to eat. But through Feed Louisville, we were able to give her a crate of hamburgers and hot dogs to take home to feed her family. So as I said again, and already so far this year, the physical year, we've served 3,709 people. And the calendar year, we've served 2,255 people. So Feed Louisville and dealing with Community Sanctuary Project through Office of Violence Prevention has made a huge impact in this city in being able to partnership and being able to reach people and feed people who may go to bed hungry at night, especially young children.
I want to end this segment with saying this, and I mean this genuinely. I tend to do this a lot, but I mean it. On behalf of the city, on behalf of myself, our crew here on Louisville Now, Ashley Webb, thank you for what you do. We know how important reducing violence in the city is, and I know you're making a difference. Pastor Horton, thank you for what you do as well. I really appreciate you.
Thank you so kindly, and thanks for having us.
All right, thank you both.
And I want to say lastly, thank you to Feed Louisville. They are a huge part of this work in our city, and we are very grateful to them.
And I would like to say that they're always on time. They make sure I get what I ask for, and it has made this program, what we do, a success. So thank Feed Louisville. We thank them for their cooperation and how they assist us. We thank you.
So obviously, Feed Louisville is a appropriate topic for this show, and now you know a little bit more about it. Coming up, More information on Feed Louisville coming up next on Louisville Now. Welcome back to Louisville Now. I don't know about you, but I think you're going to be in agreement here. When I walk into a kitchen, I want to know the chef. So that's what we're going to do now. We're going to get to know Executive Chef Callie Critchlow, who joins us now. Feed Louisville. First of all, Callie, thank you so much for what you do.
Thank you very much. Thanks for coming by.
Okay, Feed Louisville. You're the Executive Chef. So tell me a little bit about what a typical day is like, the food you prepare. Just a little overview, if you would.
Right on. So first thing that happens in the morning, my sous chef and my wonderful team of lead chefs come in the morning. They triage all the donations that we get from a bunch of different food rescue partners. They go through and pick out everything that they can possibly use to make meals out of. We sort all those out. We start processing it to make our menu throughout the day. And then we go through and triage all the other donations to see what other agencies we're partnered with that can use them.
You know what I've been impressed with, Chef, is that this kitchen is really like a high-end kitchen at any nice restaurant, any restaurant here in Louisville that we consider, extraordinary. True, right? This is not your average everyday meal, right?
It's not. No. Sometimes we call ourselves refugees of the service industry, but all of us are trained chefs that have worked in a bunch of different restaurants throughout town, from casual fine dining, bars, all manner of things. And we bring it all here because the one thing in common is that we all love good food.
Yes, I think everyone watching loves good food. So talk to me about every chef has their specialty. What's Chef Critchlow's specialty?
Oh, goodness. I'm a big fan of comfort food. I love classic Southern food. I love putting spins on it to take everything to the next level. Sometimes the simplest stuff can just be the best things. It really suits the folks that we serve to because they have fairly conditioned palates, and we like to give people what they want.
I was talking to Rana about this, and you can speak to it as well. When you have something so ambitious, like what you're trying to accomplish here at Feed Louisville, it's all about partnerships. It gets complex. You need help.
Oh, yeah.
You talked about the help in the kitchen. Talk about some of your partners that you reach out to.
So our food rescue partners, they call me, text me all day, every day, talking about what they have, because the point is that we don't want to waste anything. It makes no sense for 40% of viable food to end up in the landfill when we have so many people that are hungry. So all of our partners are deeply dedicated to that mission, making sure that instead of food going in the trash, it's used to feed other people that normally wouldn't have access. So partners like Dare to Care, just this weekend, we partnered with them to get all the food from Louder Than Life and Bourbon and Beyond. Huge crowds, huge tourism aspects here for our city. But so much leftover food. We got over 1,000 pounds on 3 different days.
Wow.
And that's what we're making our meals and whatnot out of today and yesterday.
So
we're going to take all of that food and send it back out. We're reinvesting in our community.
So you mentioned Louder Than Life and Bourbon and Beyond. So when someone has a big endeavor, whether it be the Kentucky Derby or these music festivals that you just referred to, if they can tie in Feed Louisville, that's something you would encourage everyone to do, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, we take everything big or small. We don't just need all the food from Louder Than Life. You're an individual caterer, you're a restaurant that has a few pans of mashed potatoes left over, we want it. We're going to get it out to folks that need it. We have the time and the space to do it. That's our whole goal.
The people that you work with, talk a little bit about the other chefs that are here. It seems there's a lot of experience in this kitchen, true?
There is, yes. My sous chef, Sean Fitzgerald, he's also classically trained. He worked at Le Roulet for several years, so he's got classic French techniques that he brings to the table. My other lead chefs, a lot of them love good food. They go out and sample and appreciate fantastic food. Isaiah, he has traveled to a bunch of different places, brings back all sorts of different spices and ingredients from different types of cuisine. Charles is very practically minded and loves comfort food just like I do. He's actually working on some collard greens for us right now.
All right, Chef Critchlow, I'm going to let you do what you do, which is make the magic happen in a kitchen. So thank you so much for your time, and thanks for what you do for Louisville.
Thanks for coming by to talk about us.
All right, Louisville Now. Once again, we're talking about Feed Louisville. Coming up, we've got another segment for you, more information, keeping your fingers on the pulse of the city of Louisville on Louisville Now.
His name is Raymel Atkins. He was just full of joy. Funny, so funny. He's the one that gave me the most affection all the time. And it was a blink of an eye for me. He was 15 years old when he was killed on our front doorstep. Nobody wants to feel this kind of hurt. Every single day. When they come in from school, you gotta ask them every day, how was your day? Any change you see, address it. That's what I'm learning now. Don't ignore nothing. My son's name was Tyree. He was an awesome kid, very happy, always smiling, always trying to help anybody he can. He lost his life on September the 22nd, 2021 on his school bus stop. It was a drive-by shooting. Not only did it affect the whole community, it affected my whole family. I tell parents to watch your kids, keep an eye on who they're hanging with. Do you know where your kids are?
No, I'm just like, sorry.
It's still here? Okay.
Welcome back to Louisville Now. We are talking about Feed Louisville, which, as you know now, is a really important entity to keeping our city healthy. With me now is Janice Cates, and she is a development officer here. And we're going to focus, first of all, on how you can help. But before we do, so this isn't actually the first of all, I want to talk a little bit about your decision to work here. Coaches always say you have to have the wanna. You want to make a difference, don't you?
I definitely want to make a difference. And this Feed Louisville is my happy place. I love being here. I love actually seeing the work firsthand that our chefs are doing, the food going out to people that need it in our community. So yeah, I'm very happy. This is what I love doing. So
Obviously, a big need for volunteers
Yes.
with an entity and a mission like this. Talk to me about how many volunteers and what do these volunteers actually do?
okay, well, we rely heavily on our volunteers. We have about 60 per week. We have individuals that just sign up and come regularly, maybe once or twice a week. We also have corporate groups that will bring 10, 15, 20 people at one time. And we have faithful corporate groups that come maybe once a week, come once a month. So yeah, and we rely heavily on the 60 people and sometimes more. So
Because I would think working here at Feed Louisville is kind of that feel good inside kind of thing.
it feels wonderful
And we all
inside.
seek that. You know, we all seek that. So if someone's watching Louisville Now, right now, and they're saying, I'd like to be one of those people, I want to make a difference.
Yes.
What's the process like to become a volunteer?
Well, I think that's one of the best things our volunteers say. It's so easy to sign up here. Basically, you can go to our website, which is feedlouisville.org, or you can email us at feedlouisville.org and or talk to us directly, and we will make sure we find a place for you to volunteer. And again, when a volunteer comes in, we're here to welcome them. We make sure that they feel engaged and they start chopping, peeling, dicing, packaging, and really seeing firsthand the food that's going to the chefs to prepare and the food that's going out to the community that day.
All right. Janice, if you're someone watching as a CEO or a general manager, and they're saying, okay, I like this because I could take my team and do some team building here.
Yes.
And not only do that, but make a difference in the community.
Right.
How would a CEO or a general manager get in touch with you?
Call me directly. I would love.
It's that simple,
yeah,
huh?
It would be that simple. They could email me at janice@feedlouisville.org, or they could call me on my cell phone. Any way that I can engage. I just had someone here from one of our health organizations showing her around, and she loved it. She's going to probably have 20 volunteers here next week. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Final question for you.
Yes.
How rewarding is this? When you look in the mirror in the morning and you go, wow, I made a difference, I feel good. How does that feel?
You know, it feels wonderful. I know that we have a community of folks out there that just need that little bit. They need that food in their belly so they can be receptive to other services like mental health training or counseling, job hunting, housing. So I feel like the first thing, and every human being deserves to eat food and not be hungry. We get that done, the rest happens.
At the risk of being repetitive, that website one more time.
Feedlouisville.org.
All right.
Okay.
Janice, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank
heard
you,
it.
John.
Feedlouisville.org. Now that you know the mission, be a part of the mission, be a part of the answer. We thank you so much for joining us on Louisville Now. We'll see you next time.
Thank you.